today we are going to be making a picture of a person just like the one you see before you. I added words.
We're going to learn about 1000. We're going to learn a little bit about character design and painting. So we have a packet here on 1000 character design and painting, and this is 1000 right here. He's a pretty amazing muralist, artist, designer, entrepreneur, self-employed artist. He's pretty awesome. So we're going to just use him as some inspiration. Hopefully you have looked at some of his work before we get started here, but I'm going to jump right into what we're doing. Our objectives are to learn about character creation, acrylic painting, about this guy right here, and to do your own character drawing and acrylic painting. So what we're actually going to do as far as the project goes is we're going to jump to this. You can actually make up your own if you feel capable of doing that, if the teacher allows it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start with just what we have here. Alright, I didn't want to bore you with the slow process of drawing, so I'm going to speed this up and just kind of let you know what I'm doing. There are several little charts here with different eyes and different ears and different hairstyles and different noses that you can choose from, and I just used it to create a character. You can pick the one you like the best, or you can roll for your results if you have the kind of dice that you need. Whatever you want to do, however you want to assimilate it. Once I got together a first draft, so to speak, I then did a little brainstorming, figured out what I wanted my character to do, and then I took that same character, I made some changes to it, and I added the props. In this case, I decided I wanted her to be like a spray paint artist, and instead of like holding out a bunch of spray paint or holding out a spray paint can, holding all of the different cans of spray paint, I decided then that the best way to do it was to get a reference photo. So I got one of my students to hold up a whole bunch of cans, and then I redrew my character from my first draft and my second draft, and I added the spray paint cans, this time looking at the reference photo to kind of do a better job of drawing all the cans. This reference photo thing is so very important, I think. You can do a lot of stuff from memory and you can do a lot of stuff from trial and error, but keep in mind that drawing from memory means that you have the things that you want to draw from memory in your head already. In other words, if I want to draw a car from memory, well, I have to have drawn a car before from looking at it in order to actually have it in my memory. So unless you've built up a vocabulary of that, it's really difficult to do, so I highly recommend a reference photo. Once I got my drawing finished, as far as like everything where I wanted it and everything, I went over everything with a Sharpie pen. I do this to make it a little bit darker, give it a little more contrast, because I'm then going to take a picture of it and I'm going to email that picture to myself, and I'm going to open it up on Adobe Reader, Adobe Acrobat, and I'm going to print it out as a poster, which I'm going to show you here in just a moment. Then you're going to take a picture of the picture and then adjust it so that it is cropped and oriented correctly. Email it to yourself, open it up in Adobe Photoshop, adjust the contrast to 100% over and over again until it's black and white. Also adjust the size so it is the size that you want it to print, like 18 by 24 or 16 by 20 or whatever the size that you want. Once you have that, flatten it, save it as a JPEG, open it up in Adobe Acrobat, and then click on Poster. Once you click on Poster, hit print, and it will print it out into the number of sheets necessary. and I have to cut off the edges. There's like a little white edge right there that I'm cutting off, and I'm going to mark it with a pencil, and then I'm going to cut it with a pair of scissors. You can also cut it with a utility knife if you have one, and then you're going to tape it all together. Apparently I skipped the taping part, but I put it all together like a jigsaw puzzle and taped it. This paper that I'm using here is called graphite paper, and I'm going to use it on the back of it to transfer the image to my large sheet of drawing paper, which, by the way, I also put a 1-inch border on. Here I am going through the tedious process of tracing it all. And once you have done all of that, you can lift it off and your image will be there. I then really did not like the way my spray paint cans looked once they had been blown up larger. So I took some time and went through and redrew a lot of the spray paint cans and made them a lot less awkward looking. I fixed up a lot of stuff. When you draw small, it's hard to draw all those little details and get them just right. And when you blow it up big, you can really see all of the mistakes. That is it for the drawing part. I now have a work of art that I can paint in. Stay tuned for part 2 on how to do the acrylic painting.